Hi everybody, this is Osprey from mychartcoach.com, and in this video we're going to take a look at the small caps that were in play today. So first up is ticker symbol CVM. Very nice move. This is an old chart. It shows when this run first started, the break above the 30 oversold level on fast or on RSI, Fasto getting above 80, the bullish crossover on ADX were all signals the chart was heating up, along with the close back here on the 13th above the middle Bollinger Band. Okay, so that's when this chart was made in these annotations here, and it's been heading higher ever since. Today it closed above the July 9th high close horizontal resistance level, and it also closed above the 50-day simple moving average at 146. It needs to stay above that level. If it dropped below 146, that would signal downside risk. As long as EMA4 at 131 support holdings, the chart is super strong. Check out the bottom of the gap. That's lined up with 180 here. That's going to be the next key level to break. If it can get past that 180 level, then you have the 200, 100, 200, 300, and 400 day simple moving averages all lined up between 190 and 210, and so that'll be the big level above 180. Always keep in mind a bottom of the gap is always tough to break. Okay, take a look at CYTX. Big move today, closed up 43%. So yeah, this stock's been in a really strong downtrend. As you can see, it was trading up here in the threes. They drove it all the way down to 30 cents, and then today it had a nice bounce and close above EMA's 4, 8, and 13. As long as it stays above 40 cents, it's in play. If it drops below EMA's 4 and 8, that would be a sell signal. Check out the green dots. They flip below the candles today on a big volume spike. Everything's signaling more upside potential. It just needs to break that middle Bollinger Band at 51. So trading above 51 will signal more upside. It could possibly run up to this upper Bollinger Band at 80, or maybe even that 50-day simple moving average at 111. Failed to break 51 would signal the top of the current bounce. Okay, take a look at IGC. This is one of the marijuana sector stocks. Closed up 20% today. Had a big gap up open, so that was a sweet move. It did form a spinning top today, so the close was right near the open. You can see the long upper and lower wicks. It's all about holding this blue line, and so going forward tomorrow, if it stays above 55 cents, that's going to signal upside potential. If it drops below this 55.6 level, that's going to signal downside risk. You could see that 100-day simple moving average at 53 tested. If it dropped below that 53 level, that would signal consolidation. You could see it come down here and fill the gap and test that 50-day simple moving average at 47. There's a gap between yesterday and today. Now to the upside, if that 56 level holds, look for a run up to the 200-day simple moving average at 64. That's the next key level to break above. Okay, take a look at AMPE here. This is the monthly chart. It's down 78% on the month. It's just been hammered. This is a multi-year chart. It did bounce off of the lows, and so it's trying to stay above this 50 support level from back in 2017. It's going to be real important that it closes above that level for the month. Keep in mind, this month's candle will not set until the closing bell on the last trading day of the month. Now, if you look at the AMPE weekly chart, you can see it's down it's up 34% on the week. It had a nice bounce this week after hitting the lows down here. It hit the 30s. It's trying to hold the August low close support on the weekly chart back here from 2017. It closed above that level last week, and then now the candles are working their way back into the bands. So it's all about getting above that lower Bollinger Band at 63, and then eventually working your way back up to that EMA4 level. Keep in mind it is coming down. Right now it's at $1, just above $1. Okay, take a look at AMPE here on the daily chart. So yeah, it's trying to get above 30 on RSI. Fasto is still at oversold levels. After the gap down open, it gapped down again. It filled this gap between these two candles on this candle right here. And then today the bullish development was the close above EMA4. As long as that level's holding at 56, that signals more upside potential. It's going to need to break EMA8 at 71 to run up to the bottom of the gap, which is now lined up with EMA13 at $1. Okay, take a look at GEVO. GEVO is really heating up here, closed up 19%. Yeah, it closed above the middle Bollinger Band today, and it also closed back above the what is this, June 8th support level. This June 8th low close was the key level to hold back here before it took that big run, and then it retraced back to that level. That level did break, and then now it's back above. The whole key right now is staying above that middle Bollinger Band at 359. If that level holds, there's more upside potential. You want to see it bust through this channel right here and run up to the 50-day simple moving average at 503. That's the target if it can get through this 430, 440 resistance zone. Okay, take a look look at RHE here. This thinly traded stock is heating up, closed up 21%. Just keep an eye on it. Sometimes it gets a run going. It's not the prettiest looking chart. It did have a PSAR bull flip. You can see the green dots are below the candles. SAR stands for stop and reverse. So it could get something going if it could stay above EMA 4 at 14.4. That is the stop loss level. If it were to close below that level, that would signal downside risk. It's got to get above EMA 13 at 16.7, and then it could possibly run up to 19 or 21. That's where the middle Bollinger Band and 50-day simple moving averages are. On the last run, it made its way up to that 100-day simple moving average. That would put it all the way up here in this 25-26 range. So keep an eye on it if it can stay above 14. Okay, take a look at AGEN. This stock had a nice close today. It closed up 18%. This is another one of those healthcare sector stocks that are in play right now. You could see it's been was really beaten up. They walked it way down, and then today was bounce day. Once again, you've got the PSAR bull flip. The green dots are below the candles, and the bullish development was the close above the middle Bollinger Band at 176. As long as that level holds, a new uptrend could begin. That was the first close above the middle Bollinger Band since back here in May on this white candle. So that's when that happens, you have to take note. Loading today would have been the best call, and then using that 176 as your stop loss level. It's always best to load on the first day. Tomorrow, if support holds, what you want to see is a push through the upper Bollinger Band at 191 and working its way up to that 50-day simple moving average at 213. Notice the nice volume spike today. So the chart's all set up to push higher. It just has to stay above 175. Okay, take a look at LLEX here. Closed up 19%. Yeah, this had a big gap up open. There is a gap between high of day yesterday and low of day today, so that is a red flag. What it needs to do is break this $5 resistance zone. That's the green line here, the 50-day simple moving average. If it can bust above 5 and turn it into support, that would be really bullish. You could see it run back up here to this 560 range and possibly up here to the $6 zone. Now, if it failed to break 5, keep an eye on 476. If it dropped below the 100-day simple moving average, that would signal it's not ready to go. Okay, take a look at TAT. Okay, so it closed up 18% today. It has this nice run going. There are two unfilled gaps in the chart. There's a gap back here in earlier in August, and then there was a gap today between high of day yesterday and low of day today. It's pushing really hard. It needs to get through 175. If it can get through that 175 level, which was a resistance zone back over here in April and May before it broke out and ran to that high close up there near 210 in May, that was the tough level to break. It could stall out here at 175. If it did break above 175, look for it to fill the jar back up to that 210 level. It looks like it's working its way up to that level, but it could take a little breather here at 175 if that level fails to break. If it did take a breather and it pulled back, look for a pullback down to the 100-day simple moving average, currently at 148, to fill that first gap below. Okay, take a look at PKD here. This is a thinly traded stock. It's heating up. It had only 158,000 shares traded, but it did close above the middle Bollinger Band, so I put it in the chart. It caught our eye yesterday on the close above EMA's 4.8. It had no volume though, but it did follow through today. If it can stay above $4, then it could get a new uptrend going. Look for a possible run up to that 50-day simple moving average. It ran up to that level the last couple times. If it fails to break that level, that will be the take profit zone. If it did close above, that would be a bullish change in trend, and then it could possibly head up to that 100-day simple moving average. First things first, it has to stay above $1. Okay, take a look at PED here. This is heating up. We had this as a bounce play off of the 50-day simple moving average, and I had alerted it on I believe it was Friday that I said look for a bounce off of that level, and then it bounced today, and then yesterday, and then today it followed through. Even though there's been no volume, there was still a technical bounce off that 50-day simple moving average. So keep in mind that that is always the reload level if the stock works its way back down to that level and support holds. Okay, so that's usually a good technical bounce level. Now what it needs to do is close above the middle Bollinger Band at 212. If it can close above that level and turn it into support, that'll signal a possible uptrend. If it fails to break that 212 level, that's going to signal the top of the bounce. As you can see here, it has a tight channel going. you could see this sideways channel, and if it broke above 212, you'd be looking for a run to the top of the channel, which is this closing price here back in July, which would put it around 275 or so. Okay, let's look at IPWR. Closed up 13%. Yeah, keep an eye on this one. It's a super ugly chart. It has the big downtrend going, nasty downtrend. Last time it ran up to the middle Bollinger Band and hit that 50-day simple moving average, the green line, and stalled out. Okay, so today it closed above EMA's 4 and 8. That was the first close above EMA 8, since back here on this white candle. And so it's a bullish change in trend. Many times when that happens, that's our clue, our signal that it could follow through. We've got the PSAR bull flip. If it can break above 75 here in EMA 13, you have the middle Bollinger Band at 79. And now if it got above 79, it could really get moving, and the upward target would be 95 in that 50-day simple moving average. Okay, take a look at RNN. Keep an eye on the stock. Closed up nearly 8%. It had a gap up open today, and then it hit the 200-day simple moving average where people locked in gains and it pulled back. They drove it all the way down below that 100-day simple moving average at 171. It's never good to see that. If it can break above 171, then it needs to get above 184. If it fails to break above both those levels, it could come down here and fill the gap. A drop down to EMA 8 would fill the gap between high of day yesterday and low of day today. Okay, now take a look at SESN for the last stock on this video, or in this video. Closed up 5% today. I mean, I put it in here because it looks like it's trying to turn this middle Bollinger Band into support. It has a symmetrical, or a descending triangle type of pattern. And yeah, it just seems like it's trying to possibly break out of this pattern here. I mean, maybe you could even say symmetrical. It's got this falling wedge, whatever you want to call it. It looks like it's trying to heat up here. And so what we're looking for now is for the middle Bollinger Band, currently at 176, to turn into support. And if that level holds, it could get a new uptrend going. After getting above the middle Bollinger Band back here on the 13th, it hit the 50-day simple moving average, the green line. It pulled back, and then today it bounced. Okay, and yeah, I'm not sure if that was a bearish reversal pattern there or not, but the bottom line is it could come back up here and test that 50-day simple moving average. That's on deck at 191. If it gets above and closes above that level, that should be the clue that it's ready to finally head higher. And then what you're looking for is a break above the 100-day simple moving average at 208. A close above that level would be really bullish, and it could get moving higher. So just keep an eye on the stock. It did have a volume spike back here in August, and many times when that happens, that's the front load. This is people that are that have patience and time, and they load at the bottom before a breakout higher. We'll just see if that's the play here. It's all depending on whether or not it can hold that middle Bollinger Band at 176. Okay, thanks for viewing the small cap video. Really appreciate it.